Hello, people of the internet. I'm here to review Avengers number 2 because it is so weird. I loved Avengers number 1. I read it and I was just hooked. I wanted to read the Avengers for a while. It's not just because the movie. I liked the animated series written by Chris Yost. It was just beautiful. Or is it Yost? I don't know. I think it's Yost, actually. Um, so I added a few more comics to my collection. I went to the store on Friday. I just want to talk quickly about what I got. New 52 Action Comics number 1. Didn't get a chance to get number 2, but I got number 1. And I like it. I love Grant Morrison. I'm a big fan of Batman and Robin, which is pretty much how I started with comics. Just reading them, collecting them and reading them. I started with, for Batman, I started with, Return of Bruce Wayne and Batman and Robin. So there you go. I love Grant Morrison. Um, and I think he's great. He did pretty good, and I'm really trying to figure out what Lex Luthor's doing next, which is why I want to get Action Comics number 2 someday. I didn't get I didn't get Superman number 1, and I didn't get Batman number 1, but I got Detective Comics 1 and 2 because I like Batman a lot, and number 2 was there, and I didn't get Action Comics number 2, but I got number 1, and I got Detective Comics number 1, number 2. Both very good. The villain's a little weird, and I don't really want to spoil the ending of number 1 because it's really, really weird. But if you don't know what happens, I don't really want to tell you. You should really pick it up for yourself. But let's just say I don't really like the villain all that much. It's kind of cool, and I kind of like how Batman's doing some investigation. It's kind of hard to follow, but basically he's just hopping around the city trying to figure out what's going on. And there's really not much more investigation beyond that. He's just talking to Gordon all the time, which is weird. They de-aged a bunch of the characters. It was really weird. Uh, Gordon is Commissioner Gordon. He has red hair, and he's a lot younger looking. He's still smoked once, and he's like, "Oh, I don't smoke anymore." It was really funny. And I got X-Men Schism number 1, which is probably one of the best things I read out of everything, because it was funny, and it was just ridiculous, and it was it was leading up to something like the government has all these Sentinels now, and the X-Men are like, you can't have Sentinels around the thing because the Sentinels kill mutants and it's evil and it's bad, and then stuff happens and that's it. But let's stop talking about X-Men. Let's start talking about the Avengers because I already did an X-Men review, and um yeah. I love this issue so much. And this is provided by the Marvel Digital Comics. If this is illegal, let me know. I'll take it down. But I just really want to share this issue with you guys because I thought it was just hilarious. And Giant Man's in this issue, which I like. Because in issue 1, they showed Ant-Man. And Ant-Man is just weird because he controls ants. And you'd think that's stupid. But for some reason, he makes ants cool. You'll see what I mean. I think, no, it's issue 3 where he controls the ants again as Giant Man, which is kind of cool. So he can still control ants using technology. I wonder who's smarter, Tony Stark or Henry Pym. Who knows? So Hulk still likes to argue with everybody, which is awesome. The time, the present, the place, the library of Anthony Stark, millionaire weapons manufacturer. The occasion, a new meeting of the Earth's mightiest superheroes, the Avengers, which is the title they used for the animated series, which I really like. I love how much of a jerk the Hulk is in this one. He's like, I hate you all. You're all stupid. And then in the animated series, he kind of just chills with them for a while. And I remember a lot of the episodes, he was angry, but he wasn't really like, ugh, you're all stupid, I hate you all. And he made fun with them, but he didn't really take it to the point where he's like, ugh, and I guess they just needed a reason to have him stick around in the series, which is really weird because in this series he only stays for 2-3 issues. Yeah, made by Stanley and who else? Jack Kirby. Oh yeah, yeah. Jack Kirby. I was right because Jack Kirby did the 3rd issue, which I really like a lot too. Oh yeah, see, look, they're still shrunken, you know. It's really weird. And they have growth pills, which I found really weird. They have like these growth pills. And I found that really weird because in the series they just have the ability to grow. It's like, why do you need pills? I don't know. I don't get it. And like, how do they shrink? Like, do they take shrinking? Yeah, they have shrinking. They show in issue 3, I think they have shrinking pills. So I find that really weird. They're just eating pills to shrink and grow. I thought it was part of their powers, but no, that'd be too lame. And then they just grow to normal size, which is pretty cool. Yes, we have these pills that we can eat and stuff. I love how throughout this, Wasp just keeps having a crush on Thor, which is really, that's understandable. I mean, if you look at Thor in the movie, which I actually didn't see, but he kind of, he does look pretty handsome. No homo there. What am I saying? I mean, like, yeah, no, but whatever. Awkward. Moving on. Okay. Now, this is a really weird thing. So, there's this thing flying in space, and he's traveling faster than the speed of light, which is okay, and then he turns into a meteor. The ship cloaks itself as a meteorite, and then out of the meteorite comes this Count Chocula thing. I don't know what it is. It's the Space Phantom. And he lands on Earth just so he can kill the Avengers. If I can destroy the Avengers single-handed, then no power on Earth can stop the total invasion of my people. Why does he say my people? He's the only one who shows up. Like, there are no others. It's just him. He's like, haha, is he a scout or something? Like, are they just sending him in like, hey, is Earth safe or not? And he just, they dump him here. I don't know, he just flies there, he's like, I'll kill the Avengers. Just to prove how powerful he is? Like, is that a legitimate reason? And then they just, they put him there and he's like, okay, I have to kill the Avengers now. It's like, for his people? I didn't see any of these other guys running around. It's just him. So, if they wanted to invade the Earth, then why don't they just invade the Earth? I mean, his powers are pretty powerful, and they only work on, a 1-to-1 basis. If you used his powers on everybody, you'd pretty much have the Skrulls. Except it'd be a lot earlier and a lot cooler. You'll see his powers pretty soon. I just love how he looks like Dracula. So, the way his powers work is he replaces the image of people, and due to, quantum laws of physics, two people can't exist in the same timeline, he shoves them into an alternate, pocket dimension called limbo. So he shoves them into limbo, but then whenever he turns into somebody else, like if he shifts his form again, that person reappears out from... So he can only control one person at once, which is kind of ineffective if you think about it. It's like, oh, why I want to control you now, so I have to switch out of being that other person, and that person shows up. And so he just walks into the mansion, and they notice him. I love that. He looks too sure of himself, as though he knows we're here, and he's prepared for us. Nobody can be prepared for the Hulk. I love the Hulk. He's probably my favorite of these. So the Hulk offers to just bash tails on this guy. But then obviously the Space Phantom takes his identity. Quoting that. And then he turns into the Hulk. And guess what he does? He makes the Hulk even more of a jerk. Even though he wasn't a jerk already, he just pushes everybody around. Literally. He's almost right to. But Iron Man tries to put up a fight. And it doesn't really work until Thor gets involved. I love that tornado thing he does. And so he just doesn't use a door. He just smashes through the door. He's like, ha ha, I will use the Hulk to break up the Avengers. Somehow. Just kill them. And now the guy who got kidnapped before is like, I got warped away to limbo, and they're like, you're crazy. So then the Hulk smashes the guy to stop him from talking. And then, yeah, no, wait, is that? Oh, yeah, it's, Rick Jones, yeah. Rick Jones. And in a Hulk, Rick Jones was this kid. He was going across the desert and when the gamma bomb testing was going on. So Bruce Banner, ran out in front of the thing and, pushed him out of the way. And he got exposed to the radiation, became the Hulk, blah, blah, blah. And they kind of became friends and, whatever. And so then Hulk just jumps around. And then he tries to get rid of him. And then he lands on the ground, and then he turns into the space Chocula. For no reason. Like, what's the point? And then the Hulk warps back. And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna be the Hulk again, and then I'm just gonna leave. And he's like, I won't kill the kid for no reason again. He's like, oh, he doesn't matter. I'll just leave him. And then he finds there's this missile machine that Tony Stark built, and the Hulk just runs up, and then the Hulk just grabs the missile machine and starts firing off missiles. This is something I wanted to show. Tony Stark has this outlet plug that he plugs into the wall to charge his the arc whatever it was, the arc resistor thing that's in his chest that keeps him alive. He charges it with like an outlet plug, for like, I don't know how he charges it, like, because I've only seen the Iron Man movies, which is kind of, I don't know, I never liked Iron Man. I don't know why. I'm starting to read Thor because I don't like Thor. Now I'm trying to read Thor, but I don't know if I have enough room to read Iron Man. But I love how he just charges his life-saving heart device with like an outlet plug. Like, I just find that really weird because I'm using an outlet plug to charge my computer. He shouldn't be using an outlet plug to charge his thing. It's like a life battery. It's not just like a computer. It's like his life. And so then he suits up. Wait, no, he got a call from, I forgot. Oh, he gets a call about the missile machine. And then he decides to suit up and head out to fight the Hulk. And then, he gets hit with like an electrical charge from Iron Man's hands or something. And he gets crushed down to the ground. And then the space phantom gets the wonderful idea to turn into a fly, which is actually pretty smart. Unless Giant Man is on the freaking team and he can control ants. But besides that, it's a good idea. I guess he didn't think, oh yeah, there's a guy who controls ants on the team. But yeah, Hulk comes back from the Limbo universe, and then Iron Man literally pulls something out of hammer space, a giant metal hammer, turning his arm into a hammer. Great. And then there's this plot line in Hulk where there's this teen brigade that Rick Jones, he formed this teen brigade, who does a lot in these comics. He does a lot in the Avengers comics. Like, he always shows up, and they use this radio to like keep in contact with everyone. So he has this like radio brigade that he has this radio brigade that like calls people and receives like radio messages. And so here's the weird thing. He just grows. Did he eat a pill? I didn't see him eat a pill. Look, he's just growing like in the TV series. So how does that work? So if he can just grow without the pill, if he's at normal size, if he's at normal size, he can grow, but then if he's tiny, I can see her eating the pill then. So I guess she's eating a pill to shrink, but then he can just grow for no reason. Well, I mean, there's a reason, but I mean, he doesn't need to eat anything. Okay, so then the Iron Man is about to smash the Hulk when Giant Man shows up. I can sense an evil presence. Be careful. Oh, so you have like wasp sense now? Spider-Man would be ashamed. And so they all try to talk it out. But it doesn't really work because, oh my god, this is so weird. The wasp gets attacked by the Phantom Chocula, and then he gets a message on his radio head device that allows him to use the power. He gets distress signal from the wasp, and then they try and barricade all the doors, but then the Chocula count gets in, and they look behind you, and then the Space Phantom takes control of the Giant Man. I'm whirling into another dimension, a shadowy, silent world. Oh no! He looks when he's evil like that. He's like, ha, 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 I'm evil now. And he's like, I saw it too. You can't trick me. I know you're not the Giant Man. Like, look at him clenching his fist. She was probably crushed. Look at that. She's like piecemeal now, like little tiny bits of wasp. I just got that image in my head of the blob eating wasp. Awkward moment, moving on. Okay, so she manages to get out. That's good. I was just gonna think that she would be crushed by that. I always says, once I've destroyed the Avengers, all of Earth will tremble before the power of the Space Phantom. Well, you realize there are more superhero teams in the Marvel Universe, even at this period of time. There's the X-Men, that were just getting started, but they're still there. There's the X-Men. I don't think there was S.H.I.E.L.D. yet. But there's the Fantastic Four in the same city. Spider-Man. You gotta think of all these things. Like, I will be the ultimate ruler of the universe after I defeat the Avengers. I mean, the Avengers aren't the only superheroes. Even in New York, like, you still have the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man for right now in the Marvel Universe. This is as much as I can remember them. And, Thor is part of I was thinking of Thor, but then Thor is the Avengers. How are you gonna beat Thor? Seriously, don't think I've ever seen anyone beat Thor. The only time I've seen Thor weakened was when I saw a preview for Fear Itself, which I still haven't read, but I got the prologue book too, the Book of the Skull. The only time I've seen him beaten is because Odin beat him up. I still don't know why, but no spoilers. I don't want to know about that yet because I haven't started reading it. But it's like, you need to be a god to be able to beat up Thor. How are you going to beat Thor? Ooh, I know. I'll send him into limbo and then just kill everybody else. Why didn't you do that first? Oh, but we'll see later on in the issue. Okay, so Hulk explains that while the Giant Man may be big, he doesn't actually have super strength, which is something that's kind of interesting. He's twice the size of a person, and his strength is only proportional to a human being and not really a super huge thing. He can increase his lifting capacity by being bigger, but overall he still has human strength. It's just multiplied. So it's not like he has super strength. Oh, but yeah, by the way, this is a moon tractor. It says Anthony Stark's latest invention, a tank-like moon tractor straight towards the waiting Hulk. Moon tractor? What, did he plan to just harvest grain on the moon? What's the point of this moon tractor? It just has 3 wheels. It's not that different from regular. Is it like a robotic tractor? How does that work? Okay, well, Hulk just bashes it out of the way. And then the Iron Man's just like, my moon vehicle! Oh no! I'm just kind of reading this 'cause I love this. Oh yeah, I love the diluted, even though his face is diluted. Okay, so now he tries to trick everyone by turning into Iron Man, so it will look like he's. I'm back. You know what's weird? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember a Giant Man ever learning about the Limbo or the Space Phantom or knowing his name or anything. That's when I read this issue. It was like, when did Giant Man learn about the Space Phantom? And he doesn't even know what Limbo is. Like, why would he know what the Limbo is? Like, is there a sign inside the Limbo like, welcome to Limbo? And the Hulk figured out he changes into Iron Man, so they try and get him. And this is kind of cool. In the comics, Thor has this alter ego who's like a doctor, and who transforms into Thor, which is kind of rad. I mean, so far in the comic books, Bruce Banner is barely involved with Hulk, like, especially if you look at like Avengers number 3, I think it was, because Avengers actually takes place after Hulk Volume 1, which I read all of. But the weird thing about that is that basically in Avengers 3, Bruce Banner, Hulk turns back into Bruce Banner for literally like 10 minutes, and then he turns right back into the Hulk. So it's like they don't even want Bruce Banner to be involved anymore. But in the Volume 2 series, they kind of had him involved a little more, because that's when they did the whole makes him angry thing, so he could actually switch back and forth, which I like a lot better than Hulk all the time Hulk, because I like the duality of having a smart scientist and then a giant man. I thought that was a cool, mix. So anyway, the Wasp calls Thor, and so the way he transforms is he puts a stick in the ground, and then he becomes Thor, and I don't really know where he got the stick from or whatever, but that's how it happens. And so I'm just reading that dialogue. Wasp is still fantasizing about Thor. I love that. Like, why? And so Iron Man's firing these spinning discs at them. Or, Iron Man is. I forgot. For a second there, I forgot. But Iron Man was Space Phantom. So then Wasp, doing probably one of the neatest things she can do with her power, she shrinks down. She goes inside the Iron Man's equipment and short circuits it by pulling the cables, which is really cool. And then he just gets smacked with the thing, but then he's like, I have magnetic powers with my magnetic repulsors. So he redirects the hammer at Thor, but then he's like, I can be. Oh, I love this. He's like, he summons a storm, and then it starts raining. I can feel the rain affecting my iron armor. Look at how pathetic that is. Iron Man's ultimate weakness. Rain. Seriously. That's what you can't, what if there's a storm going on? It's like, oh, I guess I'll just have to call someone else. Hey, Human Torch, you free? Oh, rain. Okay, let me call someone else. It's like rain. What if rain's such a deadly threat to Iron Man? The guy can't move. Oh, and guess what he tries to do? He tries to send Thor to limp. Now, here's my favorite part of the issue. Your power only affects humans, but I am the god of thunder. Okay, and so doing this somehow causes some kind of divide by zero reaction, where he ends up being absorbed by his own power and falling into limbo. and Iron Man comes back. And then the Hulk's like, man, when I was being possessed by someone and acting like a real jerk, you guys were acting like jerks to me back. Well, yeah, that's what happens when you're, mean, Hulk. And so then the Hulk decides to leave and never come back. So what will happen to the Hulk? Who knows? Let's find out in Avengers number 3. I hope you enjoyed. Because I really like this issue too. I love all the weird stuff that happens in these older comics. You would never get Iron Man being, like, rusted by rain. I mean, that would be pretty a lame weakness. But that's what happens in this issue. I love it. I'll see you guys next time. And if you want me to review Avengers number 3, I'd love to. Because that one is pretty good too. Because it mostly has the Hulk in it. Because the issue is about them trying to track down the Hulk. So it's all about the Hulk. And it's a lot of Marvel cameos too. But it's not only the Hulk, it's also one of my favorite recent superheroes, Namor the Submariner. And I love him. Not as much as the Hulk, but I still like him. Especially since I read that X-Men miniseries called Namor the First Mutant. And I kind of my nickname for Namor is now like Aqua Spock. Because he looks like me and my mom are like, yeah, he looks like Spock. But he's kind of like Aquaman, so he's kind of like Aquaman. I said, like, if Aquaman and Spock had some kind of child, that's what Namor would be. But yeah, I love Namor, so, like, that would be my perfect issue, like Avengers number 3, featuring the Hulk and Namor. That sounds pretty awesome, right? I hope you guys tune in so that you guys can see that issue next. I have no idea how it'll turn out, because I haven't recorded it yet.